Within this chapter, The Rise of the Roman Republic, the chapter introduction, we start with the Roman Republic. We will learn about the development of the Roman Republic and about the growth of its government, society, and military. Later, we're going to move on to the government of the Republic, the Roman society, the Republic's growth and crisis. Okay? So, fasten your seats, your belt seats, and get ready to roll. The value for this month is going to be peace. Muy buen día, chicos. Séptimo A, B. Good morning. Today, we're going to get into the rise of the Roman Republic. That's going to be on page 364. We're going to deal with the geography of Italy, Rome earliest days, a legend. The city grows from monarchy to republic, the people of Italy, and finally with Roman expansion for this chapter. Okay, we're going to be dealing from 364 all the way to 369. Are you ready? Great. Okay, let's get started. As usual, nevertheless, this chapter is giving us some key ideas referring to the Italian peninsula, the Roman culture, people of Rome. And the first one we have here is the Italian peninsula and the area around Rome provided many natural advantages. Okay? The second key idea, Roman culture was influenced by Etruscan and Greek neighbors. The third one, the people of Rome overthrew their kings, founded a republic, and conquered Italy. Okay? And we move on into the chapter. Also, your book mentions some key terms. We're gonna talk about a couple of them. Forum and Republic. Forum is an open area in a city filled with public buildings, temples, and markets. The Roman Forum was the center of Rome's government, religion, and economy. Okay? And the other one has to do with Republic. A republic is a government in which citizens have the right to vote and elect officials. The word republic comes from the Latin terms res publica, which means public thing or public business. In the Roman Republic, all free adult males, you have to be a male, a boy, citizens could play a role in the city government. Rome's earliest days, the beginning of Rome. Historians do not know exactly how Rome was founded. The Romans themselves told the legend about the beginning of their city. According to the legend, Rome was formed by twins named Romulus and Remus. Their mother was Latin princess. The twins' father was Mars, the god of war. The king, their uncle, was jealous of the twins. He get the babies placed in the baskets and thrown into the Tiber, that is the river. They were saved from death by a she-wolf and raised by a shepherd. As adults, the twins gathered a group of men to found a new city. However, they quarreled and Romulus killed Remus. Romulus lived and gave his name to the city he built, Rome. Historians do not believe this legend. However, we can learn from the story that the Romans believed their city had a special origin and a connection to the gods. Italia physical map skills. The geography of Italy. We go back to 364. Around 800 BC, a small settlement called Rome was built along the Tiber River in present-day Italy. In time, this settlement became the world's largest city and the center of a mighty empire. The geography of Italy. Rome lies near the center of the Italian peninsula. The peninsula extends from Europe into the Mediterranean Sea. A high mountain range called the Alps separates Italy from the rest of Europe. Another range called the Apennines runs down the center of Italy. Despite its many mountains, Italy has less rugged landscape than Greece. Soldiers could march from one place to another more easily than in Greece. This made it easier for Rome to unite the peninsula. In addition, Italy has several rivers that ships can use. Since ancient times, these rivers have provided water and transportation routes. Italy has several large flat plains. This gave it plenty of land suited for farming. The peninsula volcanoes help from fertile soil, though they also threaten people's lives and property. Monarchy to republic. Like Athens and Sparta, Rome began as an independent city-state. Its first form of government was monarchy. The Roman kings. In Rome's earliest days, kings ruled the city. The kings had broad powers. They served as head of the army, chief priest, and supreme judge. The Roman kings helped the city grow. They built the first buildings in the Forum and led the Romans in wars against small neighboring villages. The kings ruled with the consent of Rome's wealthy aristocrats. Older male aristocrats formed a body called the Senate. The Senate advised the king on important matters. The word Senate comes from the Latin word senex, which means old man. The founding of the Republic. Over time, Roman aristocrats grew tired of royal rule. The seventh king of Rome, Tarquin the Proud, mistreated his people. In 509 BC, leading Romans overthrew the king and formed a republic. A republic is a government in which citizens have the right to vote and elect officials. The word republic comes from the Latin term res publica, which means public thing or public business. In the Roman Republic, all free adult male citizens could play a role in the city's government. The people of Italy. When the city of Rome was founded, Italy already had many different cultures. As Roman power grew, the Romans came into contact with different Italian peoples and borrowed from their cultures. Next will be Greek colonies. We are on page 367. 367 Greek colonies. Many Greeks settled in Italy starting around the year 700 BC. They founded cities in southern Italy. They brought their culture with them. As Rome's power grew, it came into contact with these cities. This contact taught the Romans about Greek culture. The Greeks of Italy had a strong influence on Roman culture. Romans made Greek mythology their own by identifying their gods with those of the Greeks. For example, the Greek Zeus was identified with Roman Jupiter. The Roman army, Roman expansion. The Roman people were fierce conquerors. They also made skillful use of diplomacy or managing relationships with other countries. They conquered neighboring peoples and slowly expanded their rule. By the late 200s BC, Rome ruled all of Italy. The legions. The basic unit of the Roman army was the legion. Each legion had from 4,500 to 5,000 heavily armed soldiers. Most served as infantry or foot soldiers. Each legion was broken up into maniples. A maniple was a unit of between 60 and 160 soldiers. On flat plains, all the maniples in a legion formed a solid battle line, but in rough country, each maniple could move and fight on its own. The flexibility gave the Roman legions a great advantage over enemies who fought in a single square block, including Greeks. Phalanxes were less flexible.